So, first of all, to remind you, if you have questions or anything else, you can reach us at rabbigaon@gmail.com. And if you want to help us with donation or anything of that sort, you can go to our website at yeshiva.etzion.com to the PayPal account, and it will be greatly appreciated. Sam here asked us a question before about suffering, and he asked about, what was your question? Who had more difficult time from the three patriarchs, Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov? And it's a very interesting question, because we do tend to obsess on our suffering sometimes. Sometimes we kind of take pride in our sufferings, because we have nothing else going on for us, so difficulties. But you wonder, really who suffered the most. And there's no such thing who suffered the most. And as we said earlier, did Yaakov suffer the most? Well, he lost his son. He had a son that he loved a lot, and he lost. Is this considered to be suffering? Of course it's suffering. But it depends how you take it. For example, there's a story in the Gemara about Bruriah. Bruriah was the wife of Rabbi Meir. Bruriah was known for her great, vast knowledge of Torah, and so on and so forth. And she was a very stark, very hardcore. She, in terms of her knowledge and her conduct, very straightforward person. And Rabbi Meir, one Shabbat, as usual, on Shabbat he used to go to Bet Midrash. Of course, his wife, Bruriah, did not say, "Honey, can you entertain me? You neglect me all week long. Honey," right? She was Bruriah. It wasn't a whatever. So he went all Shabbat long to learn and to teach in Bet Midrash. During one Shabbat, both of her sons died. So she went to the room. She covered them. Rabbi Meir came from Bet Midrash, Shabbat. Came. She set him the food to eat, Suda Shlishit, after they did Havdalah, and so on and so forth. Never said a word for him. Sit and eat and drink and, Not to bother him, his learning, and his Oneg Shabbat. After Havdalah, she said to him, what will be the deen, what will be the case if a person lends somebody something, and now it's time to give it back? What should the person do? So Rabbi Meir said, he has to give it back. It's his, he has to give it back. There's no question, no question. So she says, come with me, and she showed her children. Will you tell me that Bruriah loved her kids less than Yaakov loved Yosef? Can a parent, in most cases, we're not talking loves a child more than the other person loves his child? We're talking about most cases. So, what's worse? To have a child and lose a child? Or not to have a child at all and yearn and cry and beg, and what's worse? How do I know that my suffering is greater than somebody else's suffering? What is really suffering? It depends all on your outlook. Which one of the fathers the forefathers, the patriarch had it most difficult? It's impossible to tell. You might say Yitzchak had it best. He didn't have to do Lech Lecha. He didn't have to do this. And yet he suffered. He had sons that weren't getting along. He lost his eyesight. He had Plishtim. He had to go. He wasn't allowed to leave the country. He had to go to Plishtim, to live there. And on and on and on. It all depends on how you take it and how do you see your suffering coming from. One should know that whatever comes his way, whether it's suffering or tests and so on and so forth, is all designed to him from above. It's something that was specially and customly designed for you because you could do it, you could overcome it, and that depends on your outlook. We say in Shulchan Aruch, כשם שמברך על הטוב, כך מברך על הרע. When something good happens to you, you win $300 million in the Mega Millions or Powerball or whatever it is, you get up and you say, Baruch atah Hashem hatov ve'amiti, wonderful, wonderful, right? And if chas v'shalom something bad happens to you, you say, Baruch hatov ve'amiti, right? For good. For bad, you say, Baruch dayan ha'emet. According to the Shulchan Aruch, one needs to say it with the same itlahavut, with the same kavanah. Because everything comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And everything was so-called the tests designed for you to pass. Avraham Avinu was tested in a way that Yaakov Avinu was not tested. And Yaakov was tested in ways that wasn't, for Abraham would not be a problem. Look, Abraham, after all this, let's look at the Nisayon of Abraham Avinu. After he didn't have kids for 100 years, he has a kid, he said, go bring him, sacrifice him to me. Yaakov lost a child. He had 11 more kids, boys, and he had some girls also. At least one. He had 11. So 12 out of, 1 out of 12. Oh, I'm not saying, God forbid, it's bad, but, it's nothing like having one and then losing 100% of your children. So who had it worse? Who has it easiest? No one. Everybody, what he can handle. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is not going to give you something you cannot handle. Of course, you might bring things upon yourself, but the tests, the temptations. So for example, let's say for someone to have sweets in front of him, that's a great temptation. For somebody else, it's not sweets. I don't really like sweet chocolate. I don't like chocolate, Everything comes from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You might have a beautiful object to you or something important to you, and it just disappeared. One time I had this real Scandinavian hunting knife. It was quite old. It was very beautiful. I'm telling you, one day it disappeared. I don't know. Maybe somebody took it. Maybe it disappeared. So what could you do? You could throw a fit. Oh my goodness, my Scandinavian hunting knife. It was like from, 18 something. It was a beautiful knife. Beautiful knife. The handle was made out of horn. Beautiful. Beautiful knife. So I knows. It's gone. Maria, what can I do? You had a cup or a vase and it broke. Oh no. Is that worth it to get it? That's your test. Your child accidentally came in and they knocked down a crystal vase. So what are you going to do about it? That's your test. Are you going to throw a fit? Going to hit your child? Going to scream at him? Going to curse him? Going to insult him? You're going to injure his soul? I said, listen, be careful. It's dangerous. You can hurt yourself. You can hurt others. But it's only a vase. My wife says always, she said, if everybody will go to a room, to a hall, and everybody will take their share of hardship, and they pile it up in the hall. And now you have a choice to pick up somebody else's troubles, somebody else's hardship. You end up always picking yourself. So, your own. You're going to pick your own stuff. You don't want somebody else's problems because it's oh man, that's not. I could not pass that. So whatever hardship you have, you should know and have the emunah, not only in HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the emunah in yourself, that you possess the tools and the abilities to overcome it. You just need to find that in your toolbox. It's like you're looking for a tool. You have a big toolbox with wrenches and ratchets and all kind of stuff like this. So you're trying to put a screw. You bought something from IKEA, I don't know, but you want to put the bed together. Now you can find exactly. You have this tool, 7/16, wrench, but you can't find it. So we're going to use a plier. You're going to ruin it. You're going to hammer it. You're going to ruin it. You can use an inappropriate tool. Just stick your hand into the toolbox, take everything out, find the tool, and then it's a piece of cake to do it. You have the tools within yourself to overcome any hardship you have. Which tool you used to use, the appropriate one or the wrong one, that's your choice. You could say, I don't want to deal with this altogether, and you just have, an unfinished business, so-called. So whatever comes your way is the ability to fix. There's no, my hardship is difficult than the other one is difficult than this. You say, oh man, this guy is a billionaire, he has billions of dollars and he's buying buildings in China and in New York and in California and in Israel and this and that, the whole entire thing. And why is it so easy? Meanwhile, his wife could die. He has children from 2 different wives. You don't know if, and so on. Was this worth it? Would you rather, argument's sake, you lose your wife, your beloved wife, that you swore loyalty and so on, for how much? For $1 billion? Would you be willing to sacrifice your wife for $1 billion? Let your wife, that you swore to her that you love her forever and ever, the mother of your children, that bear children to you, who was willing to tolerate you, little maggot, for so long, would you be willing to give her up for $1 million, for $1 billion? So therefore you're a liar, never loved her. Or everything for you is cost effectiveness. Oh, $1 billion, I can get a better model. If you're this kind of a person, that's how you chose to be. But you would say, oh no, I would not give it my wife for $1 billion. I knew a guy in Israel years ago. Everything was good for him. He had a job, he was doing this, everything is successful. One time, he had a fire in his house. The whole entire house burnt. Everything. He's a young guy, about my age. My father loaded up the car, blankets that we had at home, blankets, clothes, my clothes, everything. He loaded up the whole entire car. He had like a pickup, loaded it all up and brought it to him and gave it to him. He had, so on and so forth. So you say it's hard? And then people donated him money, and people donated him clothes, and so on and so forth, right? No, you got to do your work. Listen. Either that or you go to the other side. And then you know what happened? So he got so much stuff, people donated him so much money. He got himself a car, he fixed himself, fixed the house better than it was before. And people were saying, oh, wow. Well, you know what happened to him? Terrorists enter his village where he was living. Killed his wife. Killed his children. I think he had one child that was with him that was okay, and then the other child lost his legs. So out of, 5 kids, something like that, he lost 3, and his wife or 4 kids and his wife. They entered the house and they butchered them and they burnt the house. Yes, he came, and later on there was a big outcry, and even guys from the Yeshiva helped. And Mayor Bloomberg sent him a car, and he went to a basketball with his son, game with his son. The head was, and he had money, and people donated him thousands and thousands of dollars. And you tell me it's worth it? Would you substitute that for that? So don't complain. Or how about people from the Holocaust that lost everything? Would you switch? Then they got money from Germany. They got a pension from Germany to the rest of their lives. Would you like to get money and have a steady income at a time from Deutsche Francs? Would you like to get money like that from Germany and not have your family? What's the price that you're going to put on your suffering that you're going to tell me it's worthwhile? You say it's impossible. Don't look at somebody else and tell him he has it easier than me. He has what he can handle. You have what you can handle. So you can't compare one suffering to the other. Everything is individual. Everything is how you take it and how you lose it and how you handle it and what do you apply to it. And the most important thing is everybody has his share of hardship in life. There's no such thing as no hardship. Easy life. There is no such thing. There's going to be difficulties in everything and anything you do. You think that you're in college or you're in high school, it's going to be easier in college and becomes so difficult. And he has his own challenges. And you think, okay, I'm going to finish college, I'm going to go to graduate school, it's going to be different. And different challenges and different hardships. And then you say, okay, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to become a doctor, a dentist, a plumber, No big difference between the two. Maybe the plumber makes more money. And it's going to be different. And you have your own hardship and old challenges and so on and so forth. That's a part of life. How you deal with it, that's the only thing that is in your control. What hardship you get, it's not in your control. And don't compare yours to others. Be happy with what you have because you don't want somebody else's misery. Because without a doubt, you would not be able to handle it. So we always talk about being happy. He who is wealthy, who is happy with what he has. It also refers to your suffering, to your hardship. Be happy with what you have. Don't wish for somebody else. Have a nice day.